Hello guys, in this short video I'm going to be walking you through how to build a voice agent from scratch. I'm going to be walking through each of the different options available and what they mean to the voice agent. For this, we are going to be building an inbound calls agent that I'm going to call Golden Restaurants agent. And I am going to be clicking next to save the agent and to start configuration. For the agent welcome message, you can leave the default message, hello, how can I assist you today? Or you can even customize it to be better, right? So I am using something like hello from Golden Spoon Restaurant. How may I assist you today? Of course, that feels more customized, right? So I'm going to go to the agent system prompt, which is where you basically set the detailed instruction of how your voice agent interacts with people and also set some guardrails, what it should say, what it should not say. Of course, you cannot use this default one. It is not robust enough. So I'm going to be bringing this one from that I have pre-made for this. So if I bring this, you can see the role that it is a voice assistant for Golden Restaurants. He must answer using approved knowledge base. He must retrieve data that are connected to it via the integrations or directly from the knowledge base. He must only rely on internal context and should not use general knowledge. We also set capabilities that are available to it. We are going to talk about those later. Reservation handling, since it is a restaurant. Then safety protocols, we have our response style and also the tone. Be polite, be helpful, be neutral, and be confident, right? Once you set the system prompts, you can save changes and you go to the LLM options. In the LLM options, you have to set the LLM provider. LLM is large language model. You have to select the provider. There is Google, there is Anthropic, there is OpenAI. For this, I'm going to be going with OpenAI, and I'm going to be selecting the GPT 4.1 model. For this, you want to familiarize yourself with the speed and the performance of each of the models, or you can just go with the default options, since the default will always be the best options that we have tested for you. Then you want to check max tokens, which is basically how long the inputs and output tokens are going to be. 200 is a solid setting, so you want to leave this as is. Then we go to temperature. Temperature determines how talkative or verbose your agent is while talking. For example, your agent, if you set to a lower temperature range, let's say 0.2, can say, so we have jollof rice and we have fried rice. Which one do you want to go for? Or when you set it to a sweet spot like 0.7, you can say, at our restaurant, we serve jollof rice, fried rice, beans. Just we have a wide range of options depending on the options or depending on the choice you want, so you can choose from that. So that's 0.7 sweet spot, or you want it to even talk more, so you can increase to the max of 2.0, but 0.7 is a solid sweet spot. Then knowledge base. A knowledge base, as the name suggests, is where the information, context, and all the details about your restaurant is. You can, of course, upload this in the knowledge base menu. I'm going to show you what I have pre-made. This is an example I have pre-made that has the information about our restaurant, the location, the operation time. So we open Monday to Thursday from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. We are closed for maintenance every first Monday of every year and all of that. There's reservations, a walkthrough of how your customers can make reservations. Then there is menu highlights. We have a starter menu, we have a main course menu, we have a side menu and all of that. So you want to upload this either as a PDF file or as a TXT file in the knowledge base section. So I'm going to select the uploaded knowledge base and I'm going to click save changes. So we go to the voice section where I have the options to select services to enable my agents to work. For speech recognition, I'm going to go through different providers. We have DeepGram, OpenAI, STT, we have speech. For Nigerian languages, you want to select speech so that you get speech recognition for Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa. Or if you want international voices, you can select OpenAI where you have a range of languages. Then I'm going to stick to speech. I'm going to speak to Yoruba here. Then for text to speech, which model is picking the text. For text to speech, you want to select the provider once again, who is providing of text to speech. You can select 11 Labs, OpenAI, or whoever you want. If you go with speech, you can have Nigerian voices, Nigerian languages, while some others like 11 Lab may also provide some Nigerian language, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa. There are others like Fulfude, Amharic, and all of that. And you can select the voice model that you want. You can test out any of this later by clicking Test Voice.
Hello, I'm your AI voice assistant. How can I help you today?
That sounds American if you ask me. So I'm going to go back and come to speech where I'm going to select still English and maybe select a Nigerian voice like Lucy and test. So we compare the output.
Hello, I'm your AI voice assistant. How can I help you today?
Yeah, I believe Lucy sounds more Nigerian, more African, if you will. So I'm going to continue to response rate. Response rate determines the speed with which your agent responds. So you can click normal, which is the default value, or you can do rapid if you want your agent to be faster, or you can do patient. Of course, that's going to be delay more, but it's going to take its time. Smart endpointing under speaking settings now. Smart endpointing allows for more accurate speech endpoint detection. So whenever people stop talking, the agent is able to pick it up. Depending on how patient or how much verbose you want your agent to be, you may want to activate or deactivate this. I'm going to leave it activated so that my agent is going to pick directly when people stop talking. For number of words, if you want people to interrupt your agent, how many words do you have to say for your agent to be interrupted? That's what the number of words is going to offer you. So I put it as 2, you can set to 3 so that it is after the third word before your agent stops and is interrupted. When you are done with this, you click save and you go to the next section, which is call. Under call behavior, you can do interruption threshold. How long should someone talk for before agent is interrupted? All of this affects agent behavior. And also, you want to set the silence timeout before the agent assumes that the user is done talking, right? So you can drag any of this based on your test to see which one or which option works better. So I will leave that for you to determine for your own agent. For call duration, you want to set how long a call is. For example, if all calls should not be more than 15 minutes, of course, that has cost implications. So you want to be very, very generous and very strategic with that. For call recordings, do you want every call to be recorded? Keep in mind that call records are only stored for a finite number of days or months. So you want to be familiar with that. Then you want to go to end call settings, right? End call settings has options like transfer number. For example, while your agent is talking to a customer, if the customer requests that they be transferred to a human being, you want to put your number or your assistant, your human assistant's number, so that they can pick the call when the agent transfers the call to them. You can add your phone number there, and you can add someone else's phone number as long as they are available to pick. Your customers are going to have good experience. For transfer phrases, phrases that the agent listens to before it transfers to a human. For example, transfer me to, or can I speak to someone, or something like, can I request that this call be transferred to someone so that I can speak directly to a human being? All of those, you can set multiple of those phrases for the agent to pick up. For end call phrases, basically you see a couple of examples here like goodbye, bye, thanks for calling, have a good day, take care. And all of these are going to be phrases that the agent listens to determine when the call is to be terminated. So after you set this, I'm going to go and click saved. And then you come to tasks that happen after the call ends. The first one is summarization. If you toggle this on, you are going to get bullet points. You can also, of course, set instructions here, but for what is there as default, you want bullet points of the important points in the conversation. For data extraction, you want to click this if you want data to be extracted from the conversation. For example, instead of listening back to a 15-minute conversation, you just want to get the name, the purpose, and the next actions to be taken. You can, of course, set instructions for that here for how important points are extracted from the conversations. Now, the extracted information, do you want to send them to a webhook? You put the webhook URL here so that the information are extracted and stored in a webhook and can have that saved in your own database. For success evaluation, if during the configuration of your agent details, you have set some goals for the agent to, evaluate itself against. For example, did he finish the call? How many people talked? How many times did the agent talk? How many times did the customer talk? How long did they talk for? And all of those. You could click this for the call to be evaluated against those goals and metrics that you have set. If you click Save Changes, you go to the voice chat widget where you can basically have an alternative way people can interact with your agent. For example, if I click Test Widget, instead of talking to my agent, people can chat with the agent to, of course, access the same information, access your restaurant, and access the services that you render and offer. This option basically allows you to have a chat version of your voice agent. You can copy this code to show this on your website so that visitors on your website can also interact with your agents without having to call and all of that. So I'll go to tools and integrations are basically services that you can attach to your agent to extend its range of options and what it can do. For example, you can add MCP servers to facilitate MCP based functions. You can add, for example, Google Calendar to add more, let's say, to add options like reservations or to check your availability and all of that while the call is going on. So in real time, your agent can review your calendar and see and determine which the time for appointment booking and all of that. So you want to do that. Once you are done, you click finish setup, and like that, you have gone through the entire process of creating an agent on VoiceAgent. Thank you.